Hi guys, it's Zoe here. I'm doing a new video on all of the new things we found out on the PTR. There's been so much new stuff, so let's start talking about it straight away. First of all, your Anima is now going to scale as you go up in renown. We've recently had our Anima increased based on how much of the Covenant Sanctum we've unlocked, which is a good start. But now in patch 9.1, we are going to have more increases in our Anima gains as we progress through the renown system. Let's just say the Anima drought is real.
Please, sir, I want some more.
What?
Hopefully this will allow us to get some new mounts and new pets that we've been eyeing up but haven't justified to ourselves to buy. We've also found out you no longer need Venari Rep to enter Perdition Hold or the Beast Warrens, which we kind of assumed would be the case, but it's good that that is now confirmed. Next, we've found out that there is going to be a revamp of Torghast based on how it works. So you're no longer going to have a death counter, but you are going to potentially get better rewards based on how fast you did Torghast or how many times you died. This is a bit concerning because I know a lot of players like to take their time in Torghast, so hopefully this is worked in a way that is not forcing you to constantly be pushing yourself in terms of speed. Next, we got to look at one of the dungeon bosses in more detail. The Veil Market is going to be our new version of Mechagon. It's going to be an 8-boss dungeon, and this pirate dragon is going to be one of our bosses. I know a lot of you guys are going to want this as a mount. Next is one of the most important news to me. I know I mentioned it in my previous video about things we want to see in 9.1, but Blizzard have actually introduced gear scaling for PvP. So what's going to be happening is you're going to buy your PvP gear, but it's not going to be a high item level. But when you enter PvP content, be it World PvP, Arenas or Battlegrounds, it will add 13 item levels to that item, allowing the gear to not necessarily be as powerful outside of PvP situations. This will hopefully do wonders for the game, because it just means that you're going to have less PvEers in PvP where they don't want to be. This also means less boosting. So because the gear is no longer necessary for PvE situations, the PvEers don't need to go and buy people to boost them because they either can't do PvP or they can't be bothered to spend the time doing PvP. We've also learned that there's going to be an introduction of Raider IO score essentially built into World of Warcraft, which I think is a really good idea. I don't know if this will kill off Raider IO, it depends how well it's implemented. I love Raider IO as an add-on. I think it's wonderful. I know that some people feel like it pushes people down, but imagine if we didn't have Raider IO. Imagine if we couldn't tell if someone was good based on their experience or not, or at least have some kind of grasp. Imagine how this would affect the pug world. Imagine trying to make a pug for an 18 keystone, having no way to judge whether the players signing up had experience in Mythic Plus. You wouldn't be able to pug. You'd have to go off their item level, and I don't think that would be enjoyable for anybody. I know that casuals feel that Raider IO score pushes them out of getting into groups, but the best way around it is to form your own groups, make friendships, join guilds, and push your own keys till you get the experience that people require. You're very welcome to take anyone you want to your key. You're very welcome to disregard IO score, and that can be your personal protest against it. You invite everybody with no score and see how successful your keys go. I think then you'll probably start to find you're using the add-on yourself and you've become the thing that you hate. We've also seen a removal of the hard cap for battle pets, so there's no longer a limit of I think it's 2,000 battle pets. I know a lot of people who enjoy pet battling, so this is a very warm, welcomed change. We've also got a list of the bosses in the next raid. So in Sanctum of Domination, we have the Taragu. I'm going to struggle to read these out. So the Eye of the Jailer, the 9, Remnant of Nezul, that sounds exciting, Soulrender Dormazane, Painsmith Raznal, the Guardian of the First Ones, Fate Scribe Rokalo, the legendary Kel'Thuzad, and the last boss, Sylvanas Windrunner. We're also getting legendaries which are tied to our Covenant abilities. I don't know how I feel about this. I imagine they're probably not going to be that strong, but who knows. We've also got a bunch of glasses on the PTR, so if you want to live your specky fantasy like me, now you can. We've had a look at all the weapon models. Loads of these look awesome. I'm really excited. There's also Charlemagne included in this, so I'm pretty sure this was Varian's weapon. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not a huge lore fanatic, so I wonder what they're planning to do with that. We've also got raid testing coming out on the 16th. I will be streaming the raid testing if you're interested. You can come over and join me at 411 Games. That is on April the 16th. There is also going to be a Mythic Mount from the last boss from Sylvanas. This is like a Jailover crossover with the Dragonhawk. It looks really dark and edgy, but really cool. I'm looking forward to getting this one. There's also a bunch of new mounts that we've data mined. Some of these look absolutely awesome. Some of them look pretty strange, especially this one, but I also suspected that the hand mount would be tied to achievements in the Maw, which it appears it will be. I got the crab mount from Nazjatar and I'll probably be getting this hand. The Torghast horse also looks awesome. I am still not keen on my flying Night Fate mount. I'm not a big fan of Falcor, and this mount is just giving me Falcor.
No. I like children.
Blizzard have also published some class changes. We have changes to balance, so a little bit of a nerf there. Hopefully they'll still be strong. It does appear like they are above and beyond, but I feel the top specs are generally in quite a good place right now. I know that a few specs probably need to be brought up to the same level, but I feel like at the top end, the balancing is actually quite good. Fire Mage has had some nerfs as well. Disc Priest has had Spirit Shell change from a 1 minute cooldown to a 1 minute 30 cooldown. I think Blizzard are trying to make Spirit Shell situational and push Disc Priests to be using Evangelism like they did before. Because of Disc Priest's utility, they are a really strong spec in general. The Barrier and the Spirit Shell make them really strong, and their HPS isn't that bad either. So I think these nerfs, although they feel harsh, might possibly bring them back to a level playing field. Holy Priest has been seen as one of the worst healers just because they have no real useful utility. They've had a change to Symbol of Hope, which before used to restore healers' mana, but now will also reduce the personal cooldowns of everybody in the raid by 60 seconds. This is not going to include immunities. Things like Ice Block or Turtle, it will be small personals like Exhilaration, Mirror Images, Bark Skin, it'll be things like that. This is still a welcome change. Holy Priest is in a really bad spot and they do not deserve to be so weak in terms of HPS and have no utility. Holy Priests do exceed in 30-man content. If you're a Holy Priest in a heroic guild, you should be very valued, but as soon as your guild starts to push into Mythic, people might struggle justifying your raid spot, unless you're an absolute god. Affliction Warlock has also seen some pretty hard nerfs, so maybe it's time to pick up Destruction again. We've also had another 3 rows added to our soul binds, and there'll be new soul bindings with higher item level too. We've also seen our renown increased to a potential 80, and there's also new campaign chapters to do. There's a load of new PvP moves, so I'm really excited to see all of this stuff come into fruition. You can also transmog your shoulders separately on the PTR, so now everybody can get a little bit more creative. There's also these 4 little Covenant Pepes, which I think are adorable. That's all the PTR news we have for today. Hopefully there'll be lots more things to talk about. When the next wave of changes comes into place, I'll make another video. What do you guys think of all this new stuff? I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. I'll be streaming over at twitch.tv/411games. If you'd like to pop in and say hi, just chill. I stream quite a few times a week in the evenings. I'll be making mount guides for all the new mounts on PTR. Take care, guys.